It's never too late to make sure you have everything you need for your big day. Here are a few suggestions for you and your fiancé or fiance to consider, especially if you'll be enjoying a more traditional affair, on the next Elegance and Sophistication. Welcome back. Let's talk stationery. Wedding stationery, that is. Invitations. Yes, a wedding invitation is the formal letter which is sent to various guests to attend a wedding. A wedding invitation is sent 4 to 6 weeks prior to the wedding date to intimate the guests about the ceremony schedule so that they can make arrangements to be present for your special day. We all can't go around like the Middle Ages and yell out into the streets that we're getting married for everyone to hear. This is why the invitations were made. This is a must for every wedding. With the invitation, there should be a response card to let the grooms or brides know that the guest is coming or not. This helps in the planning process as well as the budget. All it is a small card and an envelope to send back. Please make sure that it is stamped, and I prefer wedding or heart or love stamps, and addressed to wherever it is that you are so you can get these cards back. Don't forget, the original purpose of lined inner envelopes was the same as the vellum insert, to protect the actual invitation. In the case of the outer envelope, it was, to keep the invite from getting bled onto when the calligrapher inked the outer envelope. They are still used pretty often as a formality, but not actually serve a purpose any longer. If you need to cut costs, I would here. But if you don't have to, it's not too expensive, I'd keep them. The invitation is the first information a guest has about the theme or style of your wedding. And don't forget about those thank you notes. You think wedding stress ends with I do? Please, no such luck. The idea of returning from your honeymoon and, like kids on Christmas, ripping through your gifts sounds grand. But beware. Your post-present high might be killed when you realize that you do have one final chore. Thank you notes. The task of writing a personal note to 180 guests is definitely daunting, but it's not impossible. Keep in mind that the wedding thank you note project begins way back when you gather your wedding guests' names and addresses to send out your wedding invitations. Do yourself a big favor. Save that list. Make a copy of it, during invitation time, and put it away. That's why a wedding binder comes in handy. Before you start opening gift boxes, find the list and record each gift next to the giver's name and address. Then make sure to handwrite a nice thank you note to each and every one who sent you a gift, as well as made a special moment of your wedding. Here are some ceremony essentials. An aisle runner. The aisle runner is for the bride and the bridal party alone. Many times the center aisle in the church is blocked off, often by a satin ribbon, to keep guests from walking down it. They are escorted from the outside of the 2 seating areas aside the aisles, where the bridal party and bride will enter for the ceremony. Most times, this aisle is decorated with ribbon and flowers along the pews if the ceremony takes place in a church. There are 2 different times that the aisle runner can be rolled down the aisle. It can be done before any of the guests arrive, if the center aisle is blocked off so that no one can walk on it, of course. The satin ribbon or whatever is being used to block the way is removed just before the bridal party begins its procession. The second option you have is for designated individuals, usually ushers, roll it out as the announcement that the attendants are about to enter the area and the ceremony is about to begin. Traditionally, a white aisle runner is used for a wedding, as it symbolizes a path of purity. Historically, the first aisle runners were placed down as a protection for the bride and groom. It was believed that evil spirits lived under the church floor, and that the aisle runner would protect the bride and groom as they walked down the aisle. Later, it was thought to merely create a clean area for the bride to walk upon. In early days, when roads were not paved, guests could track in a lot of dirt and mud. The traditional white aisle runner is still used most often in weddings today. However, there are brightly colored runners that coordinate with the wedding palette of your wedding. Some companies personalize runners with the bride and groom's initials, a special saying, or a detailed design. Flowers or herbs have been used in weddings since the beginning of time as a way of showing love and well wishes to everyone. The actual first recorded use of wedding flowers dates way back to the ancient Greeks. Flowers and plants were used to make a crown for the bride to wear and were considered a gift of nature. Bridesmaids would make the floral decorations, including garlands, bridal bouquets, and boutonnieres. Often the bridesmaids would bake posies for each guest to wear as a symbol of thank you. As time passed, the flowers and their meaning have stayed the same, although the herbs have lost their place in modern North American weddings. Some cultures and religions still intertwine herbs and flowers in order to celebrate their marriage with a gift from nature. In some countries, the history of flowers and their roles in weddings have stayed with them, and many practices are still used today. In Germany, the bride and groom would hold candles with flowers and ribbons tied to them during the ceremony. In India, the groom's brother would sprinkle flower petals over the bride and groom at the end of the wedding ceremony to help ward off any evil spirits. In Sweden, the bridesmaids would carry the little bouquets of aromatic herbs, and the groom would carry thyme in his pockets as they walked down the aisle to scare off any trolls. In Austria, the brides would crown their veils with the flowers of life. In England, the bride and her bridesmaids would walk to the church together. A small girl would lead them to the church while sprinkling flower blossoms along the paths to the bride, and will have a life filled with flowers and happiness. This tradition is continued in modern weddings that have flower girls. Flowers have always been an important element to weddings. Different times and different countries use flowers in their wedding ceremonies for different reasons, but the use of flowers remains an important aspect to your wedding. Don't forget about appreciation gifts for your wedding party. No matter what your budget is, you should never forget for a small gift of thanks to each member of your wedding party, for the help that they offered, for the tasks they endured, and for making your entrance a beautiful one. Also, parents' gifts. A nice thank you for all the help they've given you with the wedding, financial, emotional, and otherwise, not to mention all the support and love they had given you throughout the years while you were growing up. A personalized photo album of wedding pictures, an amazing picture frame, a gift certificate for a special dinner, a poem you've written, a weekend away, anything's appropriate, as long as it's personal and within your financial bounds. Take a moment, a few days or hours before the wedding, to share some private time with your parents and present them with your gift. You might each give your own parents a gift, or you might have the parents from both of you to each set, or you may present from both of you, from each of you, to each other's parents at the same time. For the reception, these are essential. Place cards and holders. I am a firm believer in these. If you have a family like mine, some people just can't sit next to each other or within eyesight of each other. So to avoid any issues that come around, separate them. Put like people together and close friends of each other closer. It's a party, so why not party with the people that you can relate to? Wedding bubbles and favors. For some reason, everybody wants to throw things at you or blow things at you. So bird seed, bubbles, anything of that nature is good. It's not a wedding without them. This is a fairly new thing at weddings. Disposable cameras for people to take the pictures. It's a fun way and some fun pictures to add to your collection of wedding photos. Don't forget your cake, knife, and server set. This is a must to have for any couple. Not only is it tradition, but it's a great way to serve your partner in the years to come on those special romantic anniversaries. And don't forget to toast to your beloved. Make sure you rehearse and write a speech to your beloved partner, friends, and family. And you can't toast without toasting glasses. I think these are important, especially if you're like me and a romantic. Those toasting glasses make a show at your wedding and every romantic moment thereafter. Well, I do hope that this helps you in not forgetting some of the important things for your wedding day. Remember to keep it elegant and always sophisticated. And I'll see you next week with a new wedding video to help you plan your special day. Bye for now.